Hey, kia ora, hi mai, greetings and welcome. I'm Guru. We're going to play a bit of Heartland today. We're going to run through the Larissa and Aunt Fi story quest of Heartland from the beginning. And now I did want to install a lethal zone mod for this, and I did, but unfortunately it didn't work. It's well, it's been a long time since that mod's been updated, I guess, and there's been a lot of updates since then. So failed on multiple counts, tried lots of times. So unfortunately, it will be just a standard difficulty, but that's okay. We're more here about the story anyway. So what I have done, just to surprise everyone, is I've put in a bit of an overlay, which gives it a kind of Walking Dead graphic novel feel. So let me know whether you like that or whether it makes you want to throw up. We'll get straight into it in a second. How's everyone doing? A-Cup, get him, Guru. Sure, I will. I will get him unless they get me first, that's for sure. Jason Richardson, good to see you, man. Guru version 2 Heartland, yes, and this time with no streaming problems after we got that sorted out. So we'll override our old go and we'll crack straight into it. I remind you, there's going to be a bit of a different look on screen to what you'll be used to. It's a mod. You can see it's kind of graphic novelish, kind of cartoony, and I just thought I would play it like this and see what it's like. So these are our starters. Now, I'll read out the storyline, because if you're like me, this is the first time you're playing it. It's a defiant young woman travels to Trumbull Valley along with her loving but emotionally distant aunt in search of her estranged father. When her father doesn't turn out to be who she thought she was, she must grapple with her identity and find the strength to fight the growing threat of the blood plague that is overtaking the valley. Intriguing. So, looking at what they've got, Larissa has endurance, which I love. Car chopping, I'm not sure what that is. It's got to be some kind of mechanic thing. And Aunt Fi's got marathon and discipline, which work pretty well together. So, she's got stamina. We can be guaranteed of that. So again, welcome everyone. Enjoy the story. I hope wherever you are in the world, life is going nice for you.
Do you copy? It's been 17 days since we received your last message, and our situation continues to decline. I need more soldiers, Colonel, or this operation cannot succeed. Echo Actual, please respond. Can anyone hear me? Is anyone out there?
Is anyone out there? I imagine this DLC was pretty well received, considering it was Return to Trumbull Valley, the first Return to Trumbull Valley for the game.
Huh? I thought it'd be bigger.
Your mom loved visiting this place. It killed her to leave it all behind.
Aunt Fi, I'm pretty sure it was the vodka that killed Mom. I know I was only 6 at the time, but I was there.
Alright, so let's have a look. What's Aunt Fi got? She has a machete and a Tassie Devil. I look like I've got an AR. Yes, I do have an AR. Some painkillers, some decent rounds. Good old backpack. Let's get into it. So yeah, let me know in the chat if you're really hating on the graphic novel look. That's totally fine. But I thought I would give it a go and just, you know, try it out. Now, interestingly, there is always a feral around here.
Yep, that's definitely a feral. Hold on, what's that?
I don't know, but it just saw us.
Please, watch out!
There we go.
Fuck me, that was not a normal feral.
No, it wasn't. We need to find someone who knows more about this place.
Not a normal feral, of course, because this would have been the first time we would have seen plague ferals in State of Decay 2 at all. Because until Lethal Zone came along, we only had normal ferals from Nightmare, if that. Don't hate the graphic novel look, but it's not your favorite either. That's a solid answer.
This guy knows my dad.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to chat with him.
Well, I know everybody in this valley. You're not from around here, are you?
Look at me, bro.
We came here looking for someone important to me.
Tell you what, if you help me out, I can probably point you in the right direction.
Talk to the stranger to hear his request.
Zombies that killed all my friends. Will you help me?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Let's go fuck some shit up.
First,
Is this really what we should be doing?
If we help him, he helps us. Seems fair to me.
we'll take what we can from this location.
Is that it?
Ooh, yeah. Maybe it might cause a few graphics glitches.
This might be useful.
So I'm intrigued as to whether we will actually get a whole different storyline or a similar storyline with different dialogue options. Right, Aunt Fi. You need to hold that. Hold that. That and that. Oh, we'll give her the backpack too, the rucksack. Search quickly. Oops.
Anybody coming? Nobody coming? Alright,
Good.
good.
Firecrackers. They could be fun.
Stay alert in here, okay?
Where's the fun in playing it safe? Damn, too loud.
Living? The fun in playing safe is staying alive. Still, there are 3 of us. We should be okay. So I want to know what piece of rebar is only 8 pounds, because rebar is usually heavier than 8 pounds, actually. Well, all I know is they make the civilian Uzi out of rebar. Maybe it's only a short little piece. I think it is actually only a short weapon. I actually don't mind using it. It's extremely durable. And the zombies struggle to interrupt it. If
We're all
that's a
clear.
thing.
Hopefully
That
we're
was
starting
my
a trend.
impression of it. Same with the rebar blade. Right, we'll give her the parts.
Okay, this might be too heavy. Not gonna fit.
You'll be fine. Right, that should probably do us. Oh, we got one more in the other room. Remember, we've
Think
got
I've
a fight,
searched
of
everywhere
course.
I can.
Cool. Right. Yeah, made out of titanium. Titanium is quite light though, A-Cup. At least as an alloy. Compared to the Uzi. The Uzi must be made of, I don't know. Lead. To be honest, I don't even rate it. I know, shock horror. It's good enough.
Trumbull
Jumping
Valley
fellas.
used to be a nice place, if you could believe that. When we were kids, our folks would take us up to Mount Tanner for the weekend.
We've been hoping that the blood plague hadn't gotten here yet.
Seems like there's no such thing as a safe place anymore.
Nope.
Okay, that's the place.
You lived in a gas station called Jurassic Junction?
Yeah, and my friends are probably still shambling around inside.
Right. In that case, how about we get you some fucking payback?
Oh, I think that's one of his friends.
I gotta rest. Come on, guys! Let's show the Zeds what we're made of!
he says, searching the bodies first and foremost. We're doing that because we don't want them to despawn. Also, card shopping is similar to auto mechanics. Yeah, I figured it would be. Something similar to that. Good to know. Good work. Alright, let's go. Now we're going to go this way. Ooh, that looked like my evil zombie twin. Ooh, a shotgun, yes please.
No place to put that.
Take the good stuff. The other stuff despawns. Wow, we can live without it. No, you don't. Guys. Yet more zombies. It's like there's more. Head's made of concrete.
I gotta rest a sec.
To be honest, we should be using a baseball bat. But there we go, base acquired, and it's a really big base.
Friends back, but at least they're at rest now. You're both welcome to stay here as long as you need. I could use the company.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. And
Hey, Lisa,
thanks.
how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hope your evening is going well. Let's see whether this body. There's still loot. Yes, it didn't despawn this time. Right, we'll take all of that.
Before the zombie showed up, maybe I can get back to it.
Sorry, mate. I didn't hear what you said. You doing any streams tonight, A-Cup? Right. Plague preparation. Use the medical tent at Jurassic Junction to make some plague cures. That we can do. Cool. 3 plague samples. Okay, so we need to farm some plague samples. Meanwhile, we'll put in our base defenses. And food. We can worry about beds later. Okay, so we've got a billboard right outside our base. We cleared our car, didn't we? Just got a gas can in it now, which is about what we need. There's a medical tent down the road, which will have the medical supplies we need to craft. But that's probably a good place to start looking. We'll look up here if there's a vehicle down there as well. We can just jog down and get it. We do have enough gas for that. Yeah, actually overlapping. Oh, right. Didn't realize the starting at 7 starting. You were starting at 8. Oh, okay. A-Cup knifing you? Nice. 100 days later. Wow.
holy shit. You think
There
that
is a
baby still
vehicle.
runs?
We will find out whether that baby still runs.
That's enough looking around for now.
Alright, now what kind of vehicle was it? A survey car. Now that could be handy. They handled like pigs. Not that I've ridden a pig before. But I have driven a survey car before and they are not great. But They do reveal all the sites around, so why not? We'll do that. Hearts have 1,000 hit points and an increased zone of control. 4 random hearts are already awake. Wow. How do you get 1,000 hit points plus? Doesn't look like there's anything in there, does it? Oh, yep. We might find something. New community edit. Ah, right. Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out. I do need to fire up a new Crazy 101. Mix it up a little bit. I've got some ideas.
Again.
We do need that 556. So Guru, my mod I am working on is coming along slowly since I don't think I did have plan on play cards having 5,000. Are you working on mods, Jason? Wicked. I heard from a modder friend of mine that the latest Curveball updates has done some weird things to the spawns. He said it's kind of broken it a little bit. Not... Holy heck. Advanced suppressor, HP PDW. Wow.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. Holy heck. You found that sort of stuff just lying around in the lethal zone in some sort of playthrough you were doing, you'd be pretty happy with that. That would set your base up from the get-go. Where are we? Ray Horn, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thank you. I'm very, very glad you are enjoying the content. I'm enjoying having you here, buddy. Do appreciate it. We've only just started. We're jumping in. The look on the map is a little Walking Dead-ish is what I'm going for. Graphic novel. Ooh, can't get out that way. Yeah, even though there's not a heck of a lot of looting, well, a lot of space in the trunk for this, the survey car, we might drive it around because it will be quite good for revealing buildings on the map, that sort of thing. Let's park it over here.
Who'd have thought a gas
Working on a mod with a mark.
like
Have 5,000 how? Right. Okay, we can give Aunt Fi a much better gun than what we've got. Probably Malik as well, to be honest. Right. Do we have any 22? We don't, so we might as well drop that for now. Right, let's swap out Aunt Fi. That silly little gun. Pop, pop, pop. Let's give her a decent backpack for starters. And we will give her a... We'll give her the rebar, eh? And as a weapon, we'll give her the... Wow. Is that a single shotter? No. It's not bad though. We'll give her the... Give her the Stay Frosty. HB PDW. Huntley Basher personal defense weapon. A submachine gun. 4.5. Yeah, that is light. 4.5 pounds and fire 7.62. Notoriously hard to control. Oh well. Start practicing. Ah, okay. They give Fi and Larissa OP weapons because they don't have the ability to craft the Masterwork Assault weapon. I did use one of those in Season 1. I was impressed. I will say that.
We shouldn't let all that empty space go to waste.
That's very... very true and pertinent. Okay, we make gas cans from there. We still need plague samples. And do with some water, right? Can't build anything. Ah, because we're too busy. Anthony, how you doing? Level 3 lounge, you can get free influence. You know, I've never really got to a level 3 lounge before. But I really should try. Do we want to give him that, or do we want to give him that? I think we know the answer to that. So we got to vintage model 760. What's the difference between those two? The fire rate is slightly better on the vintage. Very, very slightly. None of them are as good as that, though. I should see if I can build a level 3 lounge. First things
My last
first.
group worked hard to build this place up. It was worth it.
Let's have a look at our daily resources. So we could do with some outposts. We've definitely got room for those. Food, ammo, meds is what I'm thinking. Boing. Do you need a trader leader for a level 3 lounge? I think you do. Oh, there's those plague samples we need. We'll head into town while it's light. These areas around close to base, we can fish our feet at night. Hey Camille, how you doing? Kia ora. Kia ora, my brother. How you doing? Hope you're doing well today, man. This evening. Ted! How you doing, Norm? There they are. There's the brains trust. It's like, no, Guru, it's not trader, it's sheriff. Come on. You should know this by now. Sheriff. Okay. That's interesting. Maybe I'll use a sheriff then in my extreme lethal zone playthrough. Because I've got a lounge there, and if that could give me level 3, that would be amazing. Sipping some brew. Good on you, Bo. It's a lovely day for it. I think what we're going to do is go straight to the gun store. Because we've got some big guns. So in order to get the value out of those,
Nearby. Better watch out for plague zombies.
we need to be able to take them out. You know what I mean? Be able to arm them. Ooh. Ow! I missed the throw. The mouse slipped off the edge of the table.
Dear God, I'm tired.
Clumsy. Bok. Do we have a suppressor on this thing? Right, we don't. I thought we had a suppressor on this thing. Summoning all zombies. Level 3 lounge is great for skilling up survivors. Right, kind of like the movie theater at Knight's Drive-In, I guess. Yes, I will try and do that. Try and use that. If we can get a level 3 lounge in this playthrough, I will. There is our ammo.
Premises are empty.
Right.
That's what I like.
Well, let's grab this.
Consider this outpost done.
You need a sheriff. Thanks, Camille. Oh, yeah. No suppressor on that either. So we might as well use the pistol because it'll be a little bit quieter.
I'm not gonna find anything else here.
Alright. Dude, don't go out that door ever. Hardest difficulty only has 2 times the amount of regular zombie spawns as the one you are on now. Sorry, let me start that again. The hardest difficulty only has 2 times the amount of regular zombie spawns as the one you are in now. In that difficulty mod. Okay, I think I know what you're saying. Right, so that would give us materials, which is nice. Meds we could get from this place, and food we can get from swine and bovine. So start off with that, because there are plenty of places to get materials. Be right back. Going to undervolt my laptop. Is that a thing? What's an... I am Camille. I am going to undervolt my laptop. It's charging your laptop in an evil way. See if it fixes this.
Come check out the new stuff.
Ah, I do know what you mean then. You're turning down the...
Again.
The voltage? I don't know if that'll do anything. But having said that, I once fixed my computer with
Not bad.
which was having voltage issues. My desktop, way back in the day, living in an old house, it would blue screen all the time and give me a error message which would pop up on the screen and then disappear very quickly. So I had it fail like 5 times in a row, and each time I'd write down a little bit of the the blue screen message, and it was about RAM not getting enough power, and I fiddled with that for so long. And then I thought, you know, if anything I do in BIOS isn't helping, then maybe it's related to something else. And so what I ended up doing was replacing my crappy old 4 plug.
Location is secure, guys.
That I used to have. And you know what? That fixed it. Undervolt just sounds cool, eh? It's like the latest metal band. We are Undervolt. We will shock you. You can see it's Undervolt being on like Rammstein's list of possible band names before they settled on what they went with.
Locked up tight. Could I be any louder?
How you doing anyway, Ted? How's the new job? Oh, thank you. I wanted to fight a lot of zombies. There are none in the area though. That's good. Your yelling was for naught. Lord Undervolt of the Duracell clan. Our arch enemy, our quarry, is the Energizer Bunny. We will remove its batteries and watch as its cymbals slowly clack slower and slower until they move no more. Camille of the Undervolt.
Well, we found everything we can possibly find.
I don't think this is a... Yeah, the public restrooms I don't think you can actually... In fact, I know you can't turn them into outposts. We're probably a little low on the old influence department anyway. Okay, so we've got barracks. Build a still. I don't know if we really need to though. Probably build a generator though. Or a fighting gym? It's good to have some dollars. Learning a new trade is fun. Hopefully in the future it will be rewarding. Oh, nice one. Norm was just about to remember. Was about to mention Rammstein. Yeah, it's got that sound to it, hasn't it? Okay, let's I think I'm gonna build a Jenny. It's early days, but nah, we'll go with a fighting gym. We can always tear it down. Right. So let's do a little bit of scouting. Now, finding a ton of stuff. So welcome everyone to the stream. If you do not adjust your set, I'm running a background mod which allows me to adjust the on-screen to make it look like a graphic novel. And I'm kind of getting used to it now. I like it. Right. We don't need that. Do want grenades. 3 bullets. Use that. Take that. Leave the parts behind. You're a jack of all trades, master of none. But better than knower of none. Well, as a knower of none, I've done all right. I'm 100% not a jack of trades. I'm not very handy at all, to be honest. When the zombie apocalypse comes for real, I'm going to be one of the first to die. Which is going to be ironic, really. Alright, dump that stuff off. What's... yeah. I reckon there's... could be materials in this place. We can sneak in, that'll be all good.
So many options.
I know,
Where
aren't
should
there?
I look first?
I can dig holes. I can plant trees.
That's
But mechanically, I am useless. I just don't have that mechanical mind. To me, a toaster is magic. If the zombie apocalypse happens, I can see you join the army to go out in a blaze of glory and using a nuke to self-sacrifice yourself and destroy the main plague heart. Oh, I don't know. That sounds pretty dangerous. I could recruit for them. Right. Let's just grab the backpack. The rucksack if we can find it. Right, there is so much stuff here, it's ridiculous. Running. So is this something where we can... requires power. So this is going to give us parts per day. That's amazing. Workshop facility actions. Do we need to build a workshop? An actual workshop? A basic lab. This stuff is just crafting on the spot. This is repairing and salvaging weapons. Yeah, we haven't really got a fabrication shop or anything just yet. Oh, that's right. You can build the utilities complex if we find a pioneer. Which I think is possibly the Sergeant Tan. From memory. I'll try not to lean into my last playthrough too much. We're trying to figure out what happens. We could do with the siege back at our base though to get some more plague samples, that's for sure. Here we go. Jeez. We had to search every last bit, didn't we?
No sight nor scent of Zeds.
Where'd we park? Oh, there's a plague cure.
That's fantastic.
And a mace. I forgot where I parked. Down by the bathrooms, of course. First we'll just drop some stuff off because I want to take those plague samples that are lying on the ground. I deliberately left my ammo behind so I could carry more. It's just the one. Still, better than the one we don't have. So when we get back, we might make some suppressors. And we've got room for one more ruck. Dirty grey garage.
Construction's complete. Good
Excellent.
job, everyone.
Nice little boost to health there. Can be a good option. Camille put me onto the fighting gym. Well, I used to use it in the old days, and then I kind of went away from using it again. And then once I started ramping up the difficulty again and finding things really hard going, it was like, fighting gym. And I went, yes, of course. Fighting gym. The ultimate leveler. Just having a bit more health. So early on, you know, it's fairly cheap in the game.
What else is new?
And the thing about it is, if you build it and then you find that you don't really use it, you can always just break it down for its parts again and build what you need. But in the meanwhile,
this is going to come in handy.
You know, it's going to give you a nice little boost. Scouting or resourcefulness? Well, let's face it, it's going to be resourcefulness. Who uses scouting? Alright. Power's full. That's good enough for me. Let's head back to base. Yeah, the fighting gym is cool. Technically, you know, if you said what's most important in the game, health or stamina? You could say that stamina is probably more important than health. But the thing about stamina is there are more consumables which help you optimize your stamina more so than there are consumables that optimize your health. Most consumables replenish health, apart from, you know, the weak painkillers, which give you a little bit over time. So on the harder difficulty levels is generally not fast enough, and on the lower difficulty levels, well, I guess it's fine. Might be good enough. But definitely on the harder levels with stamina, even if you get like plus 20 to stamina, you burn through that plus 20 really quickly and you end up taking the consumable anyway. So, whereas the health is always there and can be the difference between living and dying.
I think we're ready to add some new faces to our little community.
So I'm kind of more in the
Time to go risk my neck again.
trying to draw in some zombies. Yeah, I'm more for the, I think I'm more fighting gym
God, I'm awesome.
than shooting range. Oop, missed. A plague sample. Alright, let's get in here. Right, so can we actually make some of these now? We can make one.
This has a chance of being all right.
One. Okay, so let's see if we can repair and salvage weapons. Fighting gym. I think we need the fabricator shop, right? Passive defense, including increased weapon durability, higher stack sizes for consumables. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, for now, we can go with the still. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with the still. I think I might swap over characters and put Larissa in to get healed up a little bit, to recover. Take out Aunt Fi. So we do have a suppressor, actually. Come to think of it.
I'm gonna see if resting up will take care of this.
We get Malik. He's wandered off. Where are we? Here we are. You don't need that, mate.
It's good to see people remembering they can laugh now and then.
Uh-huh. Right, so 28 bullets, 24 bullets. I think I want to hold on to the big guns, you know? Let's grab 2 of those. Those. $1.6. That is light. Small cap, but never mind. We'll go with a mace over the rebar. You right? Okay. Probably should take some extra ammo. Just in case we run into a feral, 10 bullets might be a bit lean. Be some good shooting. Especially with a 9mm. 9mm don't slow them down very much. Yeah, I can carry 4 of them. Yeah, exactly. You need someone to make a mod where the city Uzi is about 5.5 pounds. That kind of feels about right. Only fires 22s, right? Oof. That's a good find. Not traveling light now. Mickey, how are you doing?
Yep,
We'll take that.
that's heavy enough.
Take that. Well, they made that pistol version and it's a lot lighter. Ah, I see. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either. There's just something about those weapons, they just don't quite do it for me, you know? Whoops. Need to put this stuff away. It's really heavy. It's okay. We do have marathon though. Still. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take this crossbow. I'm going to travel light instead, and then we can just run. I thought we had marathon. We do. Running, 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 running. Ow. £6 in real life. I wasn't too far off then. Maybe that can be my job in the apocalypse. I can travel with an apocalypse traveling circus. Guess the weight of your firearm or you win this clip of 22 ammo. That, sir, is 8.5 pounds. Good Lord, he's right. I never get it wrong. Roll up, roll up.
The same.
Oh, you got to keep morale up in the apocalypse, don't you? Ooh. Okay. Light crossbow is a completely different story. Micro is 3.3 pounds. Now, isn't this interesting? I honestly have never been down here. This is where, you know, playing a bit of, playing on an easier difficulty can sometimes be quite cool, because you can just get around the map and travel to areas you might not normally travel to. Don't get me wrong, even Dreadzone can throw up a few wildies at you. Right, okay, yep, we'll take that. A lot of everything. Hunting crossbow again. Fishing our feet. That's what we're doing.
All that hard work pays off.
Now we have booze. We might get that gin after all there, Mickey.
I need a breather.
Nice. Okay. Ooh, yep. Secret room under the artillery facility. Aha, right. That's something. We're checking that out. Good shot. Crossbow should make it a little easier to get samples. Oop.
That'll shut it up.
Good point there. Where that screamer screamed, if I just run out back here after it had screamed, those zombies wouldn't see me. Sometimes forget that when the screamer screams, it's not always going to call zombies onto you. It calls zombies onto the screamer.
Hope nothing heard that. Yep, that woke the neighbors.
Oh, hello.
Reloading.
Oh, come on.
Always hit him again. Can't do it. That'll bring the zombies running. Nothing more to find here.
We actually don't mind if it does bring the zombies running, because we need more plague samples.
The zombies are still around. Nothing major.
So where is this artillery? What is it? Artillery facility. Let's have a look on the map.
Hopefully this keeps us for a bit.
Artillery facility. So, artillery facility. Thinking. It's not in Marshall. There's no artillery in Marshall. Not up past the... Well, there's nothing up past the tunnel. Don't remember where it is. But no bother. Ah, Provi Ridge. Oh, yeah. There's a secret room? Wow, I did not know that. Now, can we craft another plague here? We can. Okay, let's see, we could always do...
Whoa! What up?
Now that we're settled, it's time to get back to what I'm here for.
Okay. We can do that. Oops. Only got a little bit of plague here, but we will put her in.
Hey, I'm looking for Mickey Wilkerson. Do you know where I can find him?
He's in the chat.
You're looking for the Wilkersons. Really? On purpose? Yeah, I guess I can help.
Here we go. It's good enough. Talk to Malik? Yeah, talk to Malik. Usually, there he is.
Shouldn't let all that empty space go to waste.
Look, I know a guy who works with the Wilkersons. It'd be safer than talking to one of them in person. Hey, it's your funeral.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy you want is named Brock. I've seen him scavenging at some bar over in Spencer's Mill.
Okay.
Listen, that's a long walk, so you should gear up and grab a set of wheels.
Hold on there, Louise. You are not doing this without me.
Are you kidding?
Fine. You can ride shotgun, but don't try to talk me out of this.
I wouldn't dream of it.
All right. Well, she doesn't seem to be interested in coming.
Yo.
Stay alive, all right?
Okay. Ah. I jumped down and straight up a ladder. Okay, maxed up in cardio. Oh wow, we've got the full options here. In fact, they're duplicated. Got backpacking, powerhouse. You might go with powerhouse, actually.
Time for me to go knock down some brainless.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm off the injured list. How can I help?
Ah, right. So she was not moving because I had her in the infirmary. That's a plague sample. I thought I saw it there glowing on the ground. Right, well, we'll go do this first anyway. Hey, Phil. Hey, Philip, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope your evening is going well. We're off to a bar to talk to some guy. Nothing bad ever came of that.
We've got... You know, your mother and I kept you away from this town for a reason.
Aunt Fi, I told you not to make this a thing.
Fine. It's not a thing. I just want you to be prepared.
Sticking around here too long would not be smart.
Ooh, what's that place?
Shit, where is that damn thing? I know it's around here.
Sounds like someone's in there.
Talking to
I don't like
themselves
this. Not
on
one
the
bit.
radio.
Come on, Aunt Fi. We came this far.
Yeah, found it.
Oh, good.
Over there. Friend or foe?
Oh shit, no time to chat. We got zombs coming in.
Yeah, they always say that. What's the real story? Oh, shut the doors in. That'll slow them down.
Undead, on the approach.
That's a miss.
We got zombies.
Brock just standing there with his finger up his nose.
Running out of fuel.
Ow. Not very skillful.
Looks clear to me.
Nice. We just got a couple more of these things to kill. Whoa, what a rush. I'm glad you were here.
What a rush. Shut the door. We're slowing down. Yeah, exactly.
You look familiar.
I'm gonna say, no, I'm new in town. I'm looking for Mickey Wilkinson. Do you know
Mickey
him?
Wilkerson. Shit, yeah, of course I know him. What, you owe him money or something?
No, it's not like that. This is personal.
Nice
Whatever
sword.
you say. You did me a solid back there, so I'll introduce you.
Are you sure we can trust this guy?
Do we have a choice? I'm sure it'll be fine.
Sure, it
Yo,
will be
I'm
fine.
right here, you know.
I told you it's personal. Just get me there,
Yeah,
okay?
Fine.
Right, search this stuff up.
This is gonna come in handy.
Here's a bunch of stuff I scavenged.
Okay, I can't trade with him.
The place has been bled dry. Time to move on.
It's all good. Nice 45 of... Yeah, it looked like that. It looked like a 50 cal to me. Shoresies. Okay, right. Where are we going? We are going... Oh, yeah.
So tell me, how do you know Mickey Wilkerson? Are you related?
Exposition.
Am I a Wilkerson? Shit, no. I just work for the family.
Aunt Fi, stop grilling the guy. He's doing us a favor.
No, I'd be suspicious as well. You want us to drive off to where? Everyone out. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, that zombie deserves a raise. Fell victim to the piece of candy lure. This be the road, the lane, the dirt track. I think. Let's just check our map.
Pedal down,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
go!
Alright, alright. It was the tortoise that won the race, not the hare. Mind you, tortoise didn't have zombies after it.
That looked like fun.
Yeah. Alright. It's actually been ages since I've done a playthrough of Trumbull Valley. I haven't done all the little side missions and that sort of thing.
Cool. Thanks
Yeah,
for
that
the
doesn't
help.
look creepy at all.
Yeah, you might want to save your thanks until after you meet the lady in charge. Hey there, Nat. Is Mickey around? I got somebody here who wants to meet him.
Brock, what's wrong with you, bringing strangers into my home?
See? Told you not to thank me too soon.
Mickey's busy. You can talk to me, girl.
Okay. Oh, hello.
Who are you? Why do you want to talk to my cousin Mickey?
He's my dad?
He's my father, all right? Does that answer your question?
Is that a fact? Well, I guess Mickey did used to run around with a lot of girls. Could be true.
I'm not lying. My mom told me all about Mickey and the rest of the Wilkersons.
I'm a
Mom
Wilkerson.
died when I was 6. Is it that crazy that I'd want a chance to get to know my dad?
Well, I admit most folks would never work this hard to meet my dirtbag cousin. Let me think on this a little. I'll get back to you.
Okay,
Guess I've
yeah,
come
it's a
this
big deal.
far. I can wait, but not
Not
for
too long. Exactly.
Come on, Larissa. Let's go home and give this woman time to think over what you've told her.
Hey,
Okay.
Larissa, come talk to me before you go.
Oh, Brock. Where is Brock? Nope, those are skulls.
You know, I never liked your mom with that guy. And it made me hate this whole valley.
Really?
But being out here now, minus the Zeds, I can see why she loved the place. I'm glad I
Minus
can
the
share with
Zeds.
you.
That's a pretty big variable, you know. Alright, where is Brock? Did he go upstairs? He did.
If you're part of the family, then I guess I work for you too. Here's a little something for you.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's learn about Brock first. Field testing, outlaw chemistry.
If you're part of the family, then I guess I work for you too. Here's a little
Yes,
something for
you
you.
do. Look at this place. trucks are. So you've been reading landscaped rooftop. Humans are terrible. Something about Pisces. What's that? Included wagon and trail pieces, cards, 16 tombstone pieces. Nice. Oh, can we get... Actually, no. Right, running. Whack that in there. So we've actually got 6 plague samples now. That will be enough to make that last plague cure. So what is it? So was this what you expected? Yes, it's kind of intense but exciting. Wow, how about that? I am a Wilkerson. Can't even say it. Letting the family down. Right, this place looks rough. I'm gonna mosey out.
Hey, are you okay?
Honestly, I don't know.
How did that shock you, Guru, with her being Mickey's daughter?
Met these people.
I was not expecting it.
Relax. You'll figure it out.
I was not expecting that at all. And I am shocked. I am a Wilkinson. And now I'm wondering, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm a baddie? Or a rough character? Am I a redeemer? Splat. All I remember is that this place has good loot. This place was a death zone in State of Decay 1.
Why can't everywhere be this quiet?
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff in here. You forgot about this part. Yeah, so I haven't actually done this playthrough.
Yep, I bet that's
Heartland at all. Like, when Heartland kind of came out, I kind of did about 5 minutes of it, 10 minutes of it. I got to the base and they sent me off on some story and I just kind of went, oh, you know what? I just want to go back and play my own game in whatever series I was doing. And never went back to it. So it was a bit of a... I thought, you know, why not give it a go? I could have got myself a better backpack before I came out, but never mind. We live and we learn. Well, actually, that's not true. I don't learn anything. It's the learning fucking nothing that keeps me looking young. CNC mill. Ooh.
This will slow me down.
It will, but... So I think that's... you can make parts from materials. Yeah, I think Brian Menard was saying that early on in the game, finding parts was nearly impossible. There were hardly any parts in the game. I certainly remember that... I certainly remember when I was playing, what was it? It was, yeah, let's just fill this up. I was doing one of my first Dark Side series, and I didn't die, but we basically ran out of parts, and I couldn't repair my weapons or anything, and so that was a real drag. And so I got friends to jump in and help me out. People like A-Cup. People like Mr. Black Tridog and Bob and Camille and Tape Deck back in the day. But yeah, back then, yeah, parts were, you know, when he said that, I thought, you know what, I think I recall those days. Now they're not such a big deal. It was Killer Wasps who was also helping me out, who also told me the tip that if you're talking with enclaves, buy their cheap weapons. You know, their parangs and their kukris and their crowbars and whatnot. Because if you don't need them, you can scrap them for parts, and they're cheaper than actually purchasing parts with influence. So I do that from time to
Can't believe we found
time.
a base as big as this.
With the right upgrade to that repair depot, I could get my old vehicle operation up and running again.
Ah, okay. Vehicle operation, like the sound of that. Nasty Nate in the house. He is. How you doing, Nate? Camille just jumped in to cause trouble, mainly. Yeah, that's when I learned that, yeah, we tested out the friendly fire system.
It's good that we got this place up and running again. Better than leaving it like some kind of tomb.
Yes, yes it is. So, I'll show you what it is. So it's a comic effect. So this is how it looks normally. Kind of lifelike, and just for fun I thought why don't we play for a bit with it on this comic setting that I set up. Because it is a storyline, it is kind of Walking Dead-ish, you know, in terms of that kind of thing. I thought so. Okay, so we built a still, didn't we? And we didn't even bother to turn on the water. Who is running the show? It's a shambles. Ah, we can upgrade this. Gotcha, yes, we will do that.
Not bad.
Oh, now we can build some impressive stuff. Vehicle upgrades. Do I want to do that? We need power. Can I build? Not yet. I could build a Jenny, but we don't have a lot of gas. We should have a fair amount of influence now, so we could get gas. You saw you're losing it. Yeah, I know. I wonder if a few people have come in and gone, what the is going on? Right, so I think I might swap out and put Larissa into shop for a little bit. We'll give her a decent, give her a better weapon, backpack, and a better weapon. That's just fine. I don't have any bandages, but that's fine. Go with Malik.
Time to get some
And our
rest.
two protagonists
Or either
can have a
just
bit of a
rest.
lie
I'm
down.
not picky.
Alright, well we're all backpacked out now, so that's pretty cool. We will go with tire iron. Let's go with the rebar. Let's give that rebar theory of mine a go. Right, so now that that's upgraded, I mean that was super quick. These are all just immediate upgrade kits, aren't they? Can do that. That takes 10 minutes, so we can actually put in the hand drill. That will speed things up. Ah, so Camille says if you're out scavenging and get full, craft something if you can, if you have parts on your character. Does it use the parts on your character first? That seems like... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. I mean, it's a neat trick. Don't get me wrong. It totally is. We'll be fine just with a pistol for what we're doing here. We're just going to run out the back and loot these houses. Wow, sun's coming up. Awesome. Jason says Mickey is in what I assume in his late 30s or early 40s since we don't know Larissa's age. Larissa looked to me about, I don't know, mid-20s, mid to late 20s. Her aunt looked pretty young though as well. So maybe, yeah, maybe early 20s. Let's go with 24, 23.
Hell yeah.
Ah. I thought the days of finding rucksacks in houses were gone. apart from Mega Valley. Oh, and Trumbull. Trumbull Valley, down in Marshall, across the road from the old Savini house. Back in State of Decay 1, that was a doctor's residence.
It's time to look elsewhere.
And so it would have a medical ruck in it, and you could actually outpost it. State of Decay 1, best base for breakdown was the Savini base. Oh yeah, that's right. There's this little room in here.
Okay. We good.
I like this pistol. This pistol is great.
Locked up tight. That was graceful.
That was lazy. Lazy and languid. Got a lot of luxuries if we need to trade.
Yo, I don't think we're alone.
I'm back in fighting shape and ready to get to work.
We're not alone now. There seems to be a fair few zombies around. Swing and a miss, folks. Ow, he got up quick. Thought I put him on the ground. Instead, he put me in the ground nearly. Savini in real life was a practical creature effects creator for movies. Indeed he was. Who can forget such greats? Like from the original Day of the Dead.
Tired.
Dr. Tongue. A big fan of Tom Savini. Wow, that bite did quite a bit. I like the little gatehouses that they've kind of made in their base, which is huge. Yeah, great little gun. Small clip, but I found it, yeah, accuracy is high, its quietness is high. For those who remember State of Decay 1, do you remember the 22mm pistol? I mean, there were quite a few of them, but there was one which was actually more powerful than the varmint rifle. So it was, in State of Decay 1, bullets lost their power at range. So, you know, you'd be shooting a screamer in the head and it would just ping off its skull. And it would stagger it, but wouldn't actually kill it. And then there was this 22 pistol which was in the game. And that was like perfect. The perfect pistol. You almost didn't need a suppressor. Almost. Yeah, what is the name of this mod, Nate? I forget what it's called. It's called... Hang on. Let's have a look. It's called... Right, it's not actually a mod as such. It's a, struggling to find it. I'm sorry, I don't have it. Can't find it in my directory. But if you look for look online, I got it from Nexus Mods, so you should be able to find it on that. Just look for like search for comic or something under State of Decay 2. It should turn up. We've got enough space for lounge. And we've got enough space for another outpost. So let's look at how we're doing. So Meds, we're doing fine finding meds. Materials, our fuel extractor is giving us heat. Hey Ashes, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. So materials maybe? I'm thinking materials. There's materials down there. There's plenty up here. And if we outpost that construction site, that'll pretty much take care of all those needs. Pop that.
We hiked through zombie-infested wilderness for weeks just to settle down in a dinosaur-themed truck stop. Life is weird.
Life is good. All right. Let's go set up our outposts. So these are resource outposts rather than defensive ones, of course. SGS, hey, welcome to the stream. Do not adjust your monitor. This is a overlay, a comic strip overlay to make the game appear more like a graphic novel. Just for fun. Hope the bullet bolt drop is more effective in State of Decay 3. Yeah, there's no bullet drop in State of Decay 2, that's for sure. The thing is, though, I was watching Brian Menard play Sniper Elite, I think it was, and because he's, you know, ex-Marine and a designated marksman, anyone knows about being a sniper and bullet drop and all of those kind of things, it would be him. So I asked him, you know, with this being a sniper game, is it realistic? Is it, you know, do you have to adjust for winds? Do you have to adjust for bullet drop and all of that sort of thing? And he said, yes, it's in the game, but in reality, you at the kind of ranges which he was engaging in the game, you know, a couple 100 yards, it really didn't matter. You know, you didn't have to make a big adjustment for him.
That is a lot to carry.
So there could be bullet drop and everything in the game, but if it's realistic, it's probably only going to start mattering over sort of 400 yards. So what game is going to be drawing in targets at 400 yards? I don't know. They might do it, but remember, it's going to come out on a console, even if it's next gen console. A console has to be able to do it. A PC might be able to do it, but, you know, a console, even the new ones, I don't know.
Yeah, it's time to look out.
And even the PCs would have to be pretty powerful. Because as it draws in... What am I doing? Right. Some parts going. Yeah, as it's... So, if we look... So, 400 yards kind of thing is drawing in zombies past those wreckage of cars. Down here kind of thing. So, you know... You'd need something scoped even to see them, really. But having said that, I am looking forward to more realistic dynamics in the game and mechanics and physics, like you say. So, you know, being able to modify ammunition would be cool. What else? Being able to upgrade your vehicle in different ways. So, for instance, you might be able to put on better brakes, better tires, suspension, armor, plating, comms equipment, all of that sort of thing. That would be cool. And also in terms of how it damages, I think in State of Decay 2 as well, it would be... Remember State of Decay 1, when the vehicles got damaged, sometimes a wheel would come off, a tire would come off, and it would be scraping along the ground, throwing up sparks and everything, whereas the vehicles are a little bit oversimplified for me in
that project is finished. What's next?
In the State of Decay 2. I mean, I'm not having a go at them. I'm not having a go at the devs or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to say what they had in State of Decay 1 was awesome. And how that turned up for me was the first time I drove into a Juggernaut was on purpose. I had the Norma the big old pickup truck. I was in the middle of Trumbull Valley, and I raced down the road as fast as I could, and I smashed into them. I think it was down there. Smashed into him, into the Juggernaut, thinking, aha, this will take him out.
Oh, so
boom, huge explosion, sparks flying, smoke flying everywhere.
Wonderful.
And my truck was ruined. The Juggernaut was still standing there. I was absolutely trashed. I was driving off going about 5 miles an hour, if that, 2 miles an hour more like it. And yeah, suffice to say, I got killed. Because I tried to get out of the car and run away, but a zombie caught me and bit me, and then the Juggernaut came over and separated me from myself. Just in stated 1 cars, you can't bring them back. That is true. And if you roll them and you've got all your rucksacks in the back, you lose all of that stuff because the car explodes. And the car will throw you from it as well, doing damage.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So, yeah. So I think, you know, I like the toolkit function, but at the same time I also liked the State of Decay 1, leave it in the car park in the shop overnight and it would slowly repair the vehicle. So I think, I mean, one of the things I do like about State of Decay 2 current version is how well they've abstracted. Oh shit, Nate. Yes, you've just reminded me I do have to call my mum after this. That's alright, we spoke earlier in the week. They've been on holiday. They need to rest. I'll give her a call soon. Maybe I should send her a text. Thanks for the reminder, of course. Yes. Yes, it is Mother's Day here. But yes, what I was talking about was the abstraction. So like when I'm crafting things like, you know, plague cures, painkillers, resources, all of that, I'm completely comfortable with these kind of levels of abstraction. Materials is materials. I don't want to necessarily want to worry about how many nails I have and how many planks of wood and whether they're long planks or short planks or that sort of thing. So for the most part, I do like the crafting system as it is at that kind of level of complexity and depth. I don't want to go into Zomboid level because I don't think that's the strength of the game. I think the strength of the game is being out amongst it and playing the game, not hunkering down in your base and spending 2 hours building boxes and crates and putting everything in little containers. That's not what I want from State of Decay 2. Having said that, there are some options in the game like weapons and guns and stuff and vehicles which I think could do with a bit more complexity and customization, or the ability to customize. I think yeah, that would be cool. So vehicles, weapons, ammunition would be good. What else? I'm sure they'll think of a lot more than I will. Every time the State of Decay 2 devs come out with something which I've made a comment on or made a suggestion on, they've always come up with something which far exceeds what I've thought that they would do.
Stock up on building materials real soon.
So I am excited for State of Decay 3. Oh, ow, ooh, ow.
Okay, running on empty.
I think in State of Decay 3 they will I think they'll embed multiplayer
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
gameplay much more centrally in the game. It feels a little bit of a bolt-on in State of Decay 2. You know, you got tethering, you've got even with 4 players in the game, you've only got one community base, and it's, you know, not shared by everyone. So from that point of view, I think that they'll make a big improvement in that area. I think that the maps are going to be much bigger. I'm not sure whether we'll get procedurally generated maps, but State of Decay as a franchise, one of its other strengths is its RNG is just unbelievable. It's so good. It's proper RNG. And I think they need to really stay close to that without trying to, you know, even the curveballs I think should be more RNG than what they are. They've kind of brought them into the game, and just to kind of make sure that they're not hated too much, I think. They've kind of had them, or they, you know, they don't want to upset the game balance too much with it. It kind of looks at what's going on in your base, in your game, so that it doesn't, you know, after you've had maybe 2 or 3 bad events, suddenly dump a nasty curveball on you. But for me, that's part of the game, particularly now that you can adjust your curveballs. Maybe there's a either a way that they can also include a way that you can make it more random and ignore, so that the game just grabs one randomly and puts it in there. You can still go positive, negative, but you can also have randomness or scripted. Ooh, actually, the more I talk about that, the more I like it. Yeah. So you could have scripted curveballs, which is, you know, I've just been torn a new one by the zombies. I want a positive curveball now, thank you. Or yeah. The one which kind of bugged me was I did a curveball mission. Sorry, I spent all my influence at an enclave. You know, I just spent all of it really, really quickly and bought all this really cool stuff. So I was very happy with my transaction. And even though I no longer had any influence, it was still
a lot to carry.
You know, a vast improvement on my situation. But the game seemed to think that I was in some sort of jeopardy, and it gave me the life of luxury. No, it's not going to work. The life of luxury mod, where it drops, you know, your community drops a whole ton of luxury mods, luxuries into your supply lock, and it was like, dude, you know, that's the whole thing. My dilemma was, do I keep my influence for when I need it, or do I spend it all right now on these amazing guns and stuff? And I made my decision, and I wanted my consequences, and those consequences were, I wouldn't say taken away from me, but they were adjusted, and they were quite diluted. So if the curveballs, if they're looking at, you know, customizing it, having a slider in there which kind of either moves it to more scripted or completely unscripted curveball events. So things can be going great and they can get even better, or things can be going badly and then they just completely turn horrible. You know, all those things are possible. That would be cool. So I've been ranting, I haven't been reading the chat. Let me get back to base, we'll have a quick look. Wow, we came back with a lot of stuff. Alright, what do we build? Sniper tower? Staging post. We'll build a staging area for now just to hold on to our materials. Bronto gas interior. Still needs to be outdoors. Fighting gym. This could be in here though, couldn't it? Because I'm thinking about building a Jenny. Yeah, we'll move the fighting gym in here. And then we can build a Jenny out there. Oof. Whack that in there. Right. Let's have a look. Those were the good times. Yeah, exactly. There were a lot of good times in State of Decay 1. Feels like you shouldn't be able to repair cards 100% with toolkits. I believe they should only be repaired by 50% with a toolkit, and you can't stack 250%. Ah, right. So there's a maximum amount of repair that you can do with the toolkit. So you can never fully repair them unless you put them in the shop. The other thing is you could do is if, let's say, vehicles had health bars for the different systems like bodywork, engine, suspension, that sort of thing, that would be quite cool. And then you could have toolkits which can repair those in the field, and maybe the performance goes down as it gets more damaged, and it could get things like, you know how you get injuries which cap how well it can be? Maybe you can release those injuries with the toolkit, so that it can be repaired fully again. Something like that would be actually be quite cool. Need to bring in 357 and the 40 and 44 cal back. Yes, yes, there was a pistol, I think it was called the Autozam or the Autofax or something like that in State of Decay 1. It was a jug killer. It was a killer pistol. I loved it, and I accidentally left it behind on a character when I moved from Breakdown, and I never found another one. New monthly side missions. Yeah.
Check out the new stuff I brought.
Yes, kind of like the Bounty Broker pack, I guess, would be quite cool. I think that could be something we see in State of Decay 3. Yeah. I feel like weapons should deal more damage with higher caliber, like 50 cal should go through 3 jugs at a time. Oh, I don't know about that, but they, I definitely think you like the heavier calibers. There needs to be a better reason for them than what's in the game at the higher difficulty levels, because I agree, when I'm playing, I'm using small caliber. The only time I don't...
It's about time she called back. I guess I'd better get moving.
...is when I'm going up against, you know, in a siege, for instance, where jugs turn up. Then I'll switch to a 7.62 or a 5.56. But for the most part, yeah. I think there can be more differentiation between these apart from just their price. And it feels at the moment that the lower caliber, the 22 rounds and stuff, are a little possibly overpowered for what they are. Because you can build 90 bullets for using the bullet press. And they kill a zombie as well as a 7.62, you know. Maybe it could take 2 shots for screamers, something like that. I don't know.
It's finished. I believe some thank yous are in order.
Come on.
Hey girl, you really are a Wilkerson. Get your ass over to our place.
Okay.
Are you sure you want to trust this woman?
I need to know where I came from. I'm doing this.
Right. Let's
I'm on my
build
way.
a... Oh,
Okay,
wow, that
now.
takes 3 people.
Make sure you're ready to get into some trouble.
Okay, ready to get into trouble. Malik will put away to recover.
I feel like shit. Better get fixed up.
Yeah, the 22 doesn't... I don't think it affects an armored zombie at all unless it, you know, its helmet's been removed. But I do like the way that 7.62s can knock them down. Right, have we anything which can craft... Outpost center. So we could upgrade that and get another outpost. That would be good. Yeah. By armored Z, you mean the armored feral? Ah, right, yeah. Yeah, or more. It's just that how the damage works in State of Decay is a little different. You know, they don't really have hit points as such. So it's not like 22s can do less damage. Juggernauts is slightly different, but like Screamers and your standard freaks. It's kind of a bracket of damage rather than anything more than that. Right, we were gonna take this. Sounds like we might be in a bit of a fight, so okay. Take a full load of that. In fact, that hasn't got a suppressor on it. Yeah, all zombies except jugs and blood feelers have no hit points, just a chance to die if hit. Right. Okay, we've got 376 parts. So I'm going to stop that for a moment. And for now, we're going to build a Jenny. Nice. Right, let's go do this mission. Ugh, it's a long drive. Did we have a plague here? We do. I'm going to take some nades. Yep, that'll do it. Basic lab. Take some mollies as well. There we go. Kit it out.
We found a base as big as this.
Yes. Every time I hear them talk about how big the base is, or that sort of thing, I remember Creature telling me, and I was saying, why do they go on about it? And he's like, you'll see. And yep, they sure do go on about it. Yeah, I think the next thing we'll do is we go up there? No. Is we will expand our outposts. Skills idea. Yeah, it wasn't my idea. I did not talk about skills, I don't think. Or did I? Hard to tell. When my mouth starts yakking, I can sometimes fall asleep. Hang on, let me check their chat. Skills. I like the idea of a scavenger hunt for 3 parts of an OP limited use weapon like a missile launcher. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so kind of things which are in the game, but they're irreparable. You know, they're not there forever, but they might be what you need in a particular situation. Yeah, I'd like to see State of Decay 3 have some areas where you can install hard points so that you can like fit bigger caliber weapons, but only if that's offset by a bigger caliber threat, you know. But in State of Decay 3, I think we will see multiplayer better embedded, and so by that I think what we'll see is the ability for players to co-op. I don't think it'll be PvP, but I think they'll be able to operate the same base and build stuff, and or be able to operate separate bases on the map.
You're a Wilkerson. You'll do what's needed to survive. You're gonna find us some detonators.
Okay.
And take that useless sack of meat with you.
I'm in, point me at it.
Oh, come on.
I'm an eager beaver.
Myself.
I want a story-based game like State of Decay 1, but you could also do a lot of different missions to influence the ending, kind of like State of Decay 2. So, yeah. I think that's a big ask from a lot of people, is to have a more established main story in the State of Decay 2 franchise, or State of Decay franchise. Because we had one in State of Decay 1, but not so much in State of Decay 2. Doesn't mean this is about as close as it gets. But what I really loved about State of Decay 1
What's the deal with you and Nat?
was
Doesn't seem to
State
like
of
you much.
Decay 1 Breakdown. Because suddenly the
she's just
game
like
didn't
that.
end.
Everybody loves me.
Suddenly
Yeah.
I was in an environment that was truly open world. You just plonked in an environment and you got to survive and you got to find the RV and you've got to move on to the next town and do your best. I have no idea where I'm going. Where am I going? Factory? Okay. We might need to stop and get a gas can. I can't remember if I've got one in the trunk, but I will. So for me, like, I really hope I would love there to be more complicated story arcs which you could engage with different factions, but also that the game is completely playable without engaging them and without penalizing the player for doing so, which is a big ask. Just gonna check I've got gas. We do, because I get it, you know. People enjoy a good storyline and a good plot. Where I get frustrated is
Heads up, freak alert.
State of Decay, for better or for worse, has taught me that I don't like going back to previous saves. So if I fail at something, it could take, you know, I don't know, 30 minutes to fail, 40 minutes to fail. If I have to go back to a previous save because, I don't know, I didn't pick up enough bullets for this next encounter or whatever, because I thought that I would get another chance to get bullets, I would be very frustrated about that. And so I don't like playing other people's games, which is sometimes what scripted zombie games feel like. I mean, there might be... But yeah, that's basically it. So I'm happy for there to be all sorts of storylines in the game and arcs, you know, like maybe you find the network and you join the network, and so therefore, you know, you get almost a Fallout 4 level of exposition of a storyline which you can embark on. Totally get that, but also when I played Fallout 4, I did play the storyline for a bit and very quickly got, you know, a bit bored of it, to be honest. Well, not bored, but frustrated, because I was doing all the stuff which people were telling me to do and I didn't really want to do it, if you know what I mean. It's like I'm doing it so I can move on to the next thing, rather than I want to go search out this area of the map, because I haven't been there before, and I think there could be raiders.
I know you can't understand this, but I have to know where I came from.
After we clear out the zombs and grab what we're here for, Nat'll have to respect it.
And the other thing is, you know, because of State of Decay 1 Breakdown, there was no ending. So you could play as long as you wanted. As long as you
How did I
lived.
get this job again?
Dude. So, yeah. I like games without endings. I like to play when I'm done. You know, stop playing when I'm done. Okay, so what are we looking for? Just not exactly a fan of a multiplayer first game. Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. So, State of Decay to me has always been most power. You know, its strongest offering has been as a single player game. How you would take what those strengths were and turn them into a multiplayer game would take some skill, I think.
Take that, motherfucker.
Is he hitting a play cart? He is. Very good.
It's hurting! Don't let up now! Alright, last mag of shit.
Nice. Now let's find what we're looking for and beat feet out of here.
Briquettes of laser detonators. Very much a fan of lore. Yeah, true. So yeah, I kind of get that.
Again.
I'm a fan of mystery.
Fabulous.
But I think there is, and I really hope there is space for both players in the new game. And I'm sure there will be. I'm sure there will be. Oh, we just picked up a whole ton of stuff.
So fucking tired.
Want a neutral ending? Yeah, see, I don't want an ending. I want to be able to continue playing. I mean, having said that, you know, I don't necessarily want an ending. It's fair to say that the ending of, you know, the legacy missions in State of Decay 2 have not aged well. They're fine. They're exciting. They're challenging. Well, the Builder legacy not so much, but you know, Trader, yes. Sheriff, yes. They're both pretty good, pretty challenging, but a wider range. That's an ambulance over there. Excellent. A wider range of options or end game encounters, situations, developments, whatever you'd like to call them. That would be cool. Something just a little bit different, you know? Dude, we are not finding your samples. I'll take that and drop that because it's flashing. Three of 9. Ah, right. Locker room. Yeah, a little stack.
Merry Christmas to me.
Maybe I should be reading these. That's quite a long. Day 7. Nugan's dead. So are Kukas and Russell. And still the doc's acting like it's all normal. Your captain says we're going back in tomorrow. Beth, I'm sorry about how we left things. If I don't see you again... Illegible. Ha! All-in-one workout system. Ah, there's our detonators.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what? I like you. We should hang out.
Yeah. Kind of looking for my dad.
Thanks. Let's not rush things, okay?
Yeah. Alright, that'll do. Let's go. For multiplayer, perhaps each player would need to add damage to a heart before it will die. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Is how to maintain the challenge of the game in multiplayer. Hang on, let's gas this baby up.
No room.
We'll make it. Where are we going? Back to the Wilcos. Yeah, because as soon as you put in another player in State of Decay 2, it's about... It doesn't make the game half as hard, it makes it even less than that. Just because of the way it is, you know, it's just the dynamic of the game. So if the game scaled with multiplayer, that would be good. Now whether it does that by default... Oh, we forgot to check the ambulance, but... Ah, here's a van. Actually, my only problem with doing it during the initial outbreak is that we already pretty much done that story with Ed and Marcus. Oh, like going right back to the beginning? Yeah. So, here's the thing. So, lore. We were talking about lore and the importance of lore, or the attraction of lore is... Most zombie lore is actually quite flaky. There aren't too many films or shows, at least from the era of zombie films that I watched, whereby the outbreak was clearly explained and articulated as here's what started it all off. It was a virus. It was a It was an experiment gone wrong. It was the result of nuclear fallout. It was, you know, whatever it is. You know, it's never really explained in all the classics, like Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Land of the Dead. Classic. It's alright, I guess. It's fun. You know, but even, yeah, Walking Dead never really quite explains it either, I don't think, or at least not up to the point where I was watching. And if they did, no one else was watching anyway. Ooh, burn. Whereas something like, say, Lord of the Rings, or Game of Thrones, or something like that, very much I'm into the lore. Like, there was a channel I was watching for a while which did nothing but talk of the ancient lore of Lord of the Rings, and I found it absolutely fascinating. Can I remember it? Hell no. But at the time, it was really good. It was fascinating. Oops, I wanted that gas. Oops, I wanted those too. What am I doing? But there is lore in the game about the community and people, so that could be interesting. Maybe like in State of Decay 3. Really hard to gas up a car sometimes. State of Decay 3, maybe you can come across, you know, Marcus, Ed and Maya in an alternative timeline, or at a previous time. I mean, I think State of Decay 3 will in terms of the time period become after here's the thing. There it is.
Heavy.
Will come after State of Decay 2. It's just got to, right? That's cheap. Fire it up. We haven't got anything for that. It will give us base-wide power. Outpost center, that's what we wanted to do.
Come check out the new stuff I brought back.
Alright, let's go do this. Lily having lupus, she shouldn't be around in State of Decay 3, or if she is, she has to be on her deathbed or very close to it. Oh yeah, good point. You see, I've forgotten all about that. They have team competition mode, which team can kill the most hearts the fastest?
Getting close.
Yeah, I think that kind of thing, Ted, is something the devs will probably rely on the community to invent themselves, as we've done. I think that they're going to try and stay pretty close to the core principles of State of Decay 2 and what it's done. You know, what it's done doesn't really explain a lot. What I mean is, you know, what makes a State of Decay 2 system a State of Decay 2 game, you know. Because it's the mechanics. There's actually a lot that goes on in State of Decay 2. Which, because of how it's knitted together and the abstraction, you know, and the simplification of some systems and the like, they interweave quite nicely, and the combat mechanics are brilliant. I don't think there's a better zombie game out there for combat mechanics. Even when you kick a zombie while trying to climb over a wall, that's just a button conflict. You can fix that, even though I haven't. But you know, yeah, it does a lot very, very well in terms of, and you know, when the difficulties came out, for instance, and the way that you can adjust the difficulty settings for the map, for your community, and for combat, I thought that was oversimplified. But having actually over time thought about it, looked at it, haven't used it too much.
Look who's not dead.
We found what you wanted.
It does actually introduce a lot of customization. And you can actually see how those, if you think about, like, okay, what would Lethal Zone look like, or Nightmare Zone look like if you put the combat up but left the other two normal? Or what would Dread Zone look like if you put the combat down to standard but put the community up to lethal and the map on Nightmare? You know, so you can kind of mix it all up and see how these different mechanics will impact your game differently. but they're all there. They're all working behind the scenes, but you don't really see it. You don't really see it. It's meshed very nicely.
You gotta be hard on everyone. Just well now.
Laser detonators, though. What are you detonating? Maybe I should have asked that before I handed them over.
And if I'm lucky,
okay, Ted. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, Larissa, before you go, can we talk?
Yeah, State of Decay 2 1 is like 2 years after State of Decay 1. That feels about right.
You're pretty cool. You think I could crash at your place?
Yeah, sure, man.
Really?
Just don't hit on me.
Yes. Hey, Nat, I'm gonna go live with Larissa now, okay?
And
if you're sure you want him, kid, he's all yours.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to like him. Come on then, Brock. Let's go. Yeah, so State of Decay 3, I can't see it being more than 5 years after State of Decay 2. Because State of Decay 2 doesn't really end anymore. You know, it's clearing the blood plague from one town to the next, to the next, to the next. So the blood plague will need to evolve in some way. Now, we've seen a picture of an undead deer in the trailer. So people might be expecting animals to have become zombified. I hope they don't go ham with that. Because having a few animals, like a bear, or a deer, or a bird, might be
we got a screamer.
Might be fun. But zombie apocalypses are always, you know, in the canon of zombie movies and pop culture is not about the zombies themselves. It's about people and how they react to it and how they change. And how they interact with the zombies, how they treat them, what they call them, what they mean to them. And you just don't get that with animals. Because animals have always been animals, whereas zombies were once people. So we see ourselves in the people in a way that we don't see ourselves in the zombies in a way that we won't with animals. Unless you're a furry.
The Wilkersons gave me a place to stay, but it never felt like a home. Seriously, thank you.
Don't stress about it. And
lab
don't
upgrade
make me regret
unlock.
this.
Cool, unlock.
Keep the faith.
That's honestly why I want State of K3 set in a somewhat distant future, because you want a relatively clean slate. Ah, okay. Hey, Pizza Man, how you doing? Hopefully the plague is over with. Ah, right, and just back to the zombie, Crafty Scoundrel, I just got an achievement. Recruit Brock into your Heartland community. Nice. No ties to our current state of characters. Okay, so if the plague is over, then what would be the purpose of State of Decay? Who then? Well, I suppose, you know, is it a world where the plague is in remission so that you don't get ferals, plague variants, plague hearts, that sort of thing? But it threatens, maybe it threatens to come back. And so what you've got to do is find the lore behind what causes the plague so that you can find where it maybe, you know, I'm going to make shit up here, but, you know, maybe in dark caves it pulls and crevices and runs down between the rocks like a red gooey substance or something, which you've got to, you know, deal with, burn with fire or anything before it starts to spread again, something like that. So you could do a zombie game without plague. Without plague cures, without blood plague. You certainly could. I think in State of Decay 3, you would have the chance that you would also have, you know, modern, other more mundane survival issues which are no less life-threatening, such as severe weather events. Maybe you could have a blizzard which lasts for days. Holy crap, imagine what that would be like. Have you got enough warm clothing? Have you got enough fuel to keep the fires burning? What does that mean for zombies and freaks? Do they slow down? Do they become more animated? Are there special blizzard White Walker kind of infected, which come out only in some kind of in some circumstances like that. Do people get sick? Do people get infected? If you have injured characters, do they have a greater risk of infection? So blood plague itself doesn't have to be the be-all and end-all of what gets you in the end. I think it would be hard to remove infection completely from the game, because if we think about zombie lore, if you get bitten by a zombie, you turn into a zombie. So why is that? It's not magic. It's because they're infected. So if they're infected, then there has to be infection. It's very obvious that it can be a human-to-human transmission or zombie-to-human transmission. And because of the world having millions and millions, billions of people in it, who are, we've got to assume that there you know, at least 1 billion of them are zombies, or 4 billion of them are zombies, then, you know, the chances of there being uninfected zombies is, you know, next to zero. But I get your point that maybe it can manifest in a different way. When I started playing State of Decay 2, I kind of avoided play carts because I didn't understand them. They scared me and they hurt. And so I kind of played State of Decay 2 like I played State of Decay 1. And so I kind of struggled to get into the game in that sense. So you don't want to change things too abruptly so that it's a very jarring experience moving from, okay, here's how the plague was evolved from State of Decay 1 to State of Decay 2 to State of Decay 3. And maybe devolution of it would work as well.
Got a job for you.
You know, maybe it's suppressed. Maybe it's suppressed. Maybe there's some areas in this State of Decay 3 world where it's relatively clear of zombies. For now, anyway. And you have a different experience in that kind of biome, which is more around your traditional survival mechanics, you know, hunting, fishing, harvesting, to a point. Again, I don't want this to turn into 7 days. Yeah, I don't want 7 days to die with a State of Decay 2 skin, or State of Decay 3 skin. I do want it to be its own game, and I think it's got a really good opportunity to sort of say this is the preeminent game, zombie game, that changes things for this entire genre. So I'm excited about that.
Did you not understand?
All I'm doing is speculating here. Never really been a fan of the play carts and all that. The first game didn't have them and it was fine. This is true. This is true. At the same time, you know, how would you keep the challenge if you didn't have play carts? You'd need to do it in a different way. Yeah, we might see the end of play carts when we come to State of Decay 3. They may manifest themselves in a completely different way. They may take over, instead of having a play cart in a building which is surrounded by zombies and stuff. So I kind of like the concept that there's a hive mind. There's a bit more to it than just, you know, shamblers that you'd get from The Walking Dead, because everyone knows in the real world, if there was a zombie shambler outbreak, we would get on top of it because of the pop culture, because we'd know how to handle it. You know, you have to really disconnect your reality when you're watching something like The Walking Dead, because you're just looking and going, why don't they just, you know, they're slow moving. We've got, yeah, you know, we'd figure it out. They wouldn't take over the world. But the zombies in State of Decay 2 could, and with play carts they definitely could. So yeah, there is that. Interesting. Make zombie hits infect with no cure.
Times like these,
so no cure? Interesting. Yes, man, hit the like button always and early. Yes, that's what you should do. Definitely. Hit the like button for sure. I would like that. That would be great. Yeah. I've learnt that, yeah, so I wasn't a massive fan of the plague hearts when they came out. I learned to live with them. I think they've got their place in the game in State of Decay 2. Whether they'll have their place in the game in State of Decay 3 or not, I'm not too sure. I think if they made the zombie threat, you know, animals, different variants of zombies, different challenges, you know, juggernauts, ferals, bloaters, but then some other kind of critters, that could add a new level of challenge which doesn't require the plague heart. But I guess what the plague heart does is, and there's two schools of thought on this. You know, there's the I just want to play in the environment with these creatures around and try and survive, and then there's the plague hearts prevent me from doing that, because if I go into the area they wake up and then suddenly the map's crawling with infestations and all the rest of it. That's fine. Then the other view is, well, that is the environment and the plague is evolving, and so the threat is getting greater, and so there is an element to the plague heart, or element to the blood plague, that you do have to address and you have to go after and you have to prepare yourself. You have to build up for it, and it is very, very dangerous, and it adds an amount of jeopardy and attacks your strategy to a point to complicate things for you. But, you know, I'm not sure what the answer to that is. It's great that the devs now have the time and the ability to invest in what they see is the next step, and I'm confident that they will come up with something which is pretty fantastic. As we know, AAA titles can drop and then need patches and whatnot, but generally if the bones of the game are right, we might not see plague hearts, but I'd like to see something else, because with Breakdown, which was just running the game, I got to level 36, and when the challenge stopped and I could go 16 levels without losing a character, I went, I feel comfortable now, I don't want to play anymore. So it's that level of jeopardy, that level of threat, that level of loss, you know, having setbacks and overcoming them is really, really important. So if they remove all of that, so it's just you running around the map, looting buildings and taking on the occasional feral, that sort of thing, I think they'll lose some of it. So I don't think they can quite go back to State of Decay 1 kind of vibe, but I think they probably have an opportunity to move on from State of Decay 2. Plague hearts might be slightly different. They might be regions. You know, think about the Gauntlet in Marshall. There might be a town like that. So they're not just everywhere, but they're in these places. And then you go into Marshall and you start clearing it out, you get the loot. But then there's vast other tracks where there's no plague hearts. I think that would be a way that they could do it. They could offer the regions where the blood plague is nowhere to be seen, or very light, and then there's regions where it's very heavy and it's actually grown and infested entire towns and the like, similar to what Marshall does. Maybe not exactly plague walls, but hey, throw something like plague walls in there, or something like that. Tunnels, I'd love to see tunnels in State of Decay 3, and cave systems. I'd love to see that. And I'd love to see AI protagonists who roam around the back with a pickup truck with a machine gun on the back of it, causing trouble from time to time. You know, those random events which can really stir things up. That would be awesome as well. Cool. Anyway, I do blab on. We've been playing for a couple hours and I've been talking non-stop for about 20. So first game also had Black Fever. Yes, exactly. Yes, Jason. So Black Fever, which came to blood plague hearts, exactly. There's that evolution going on. It's got worse every time. So maybe State of Decay 3, you know, just make them bigger. But I think, yeah, if they regionalized it, here is where the blood plague is. and maybe it starts growing out from it slowly. You know, it sends its tendrils out to try and take over urban areas which contain the best loot, but of course the most danger. I think that's where that would be the first thing that I would write up on the whiteboard at Undead Labs is, how about this idea? And then, you know, there'd be 100 other ideas, but that's the one that I would write up. One King Kong side mini boss in State of Decay 3 with 5,000 heart. Oh, right, yeah, the Uber boss. I'm not a big fan of end of stage bosses. I'm really not. They're kind of like, they're quite gamey, if you know what I mean. And I like State of Decay 2 to be more of an experience than a game, a simulation rather than a game. So I would like it to have more city building, community building assets than you know, the big boss at the end where you basically learn its moves and then the right weapons to use against it and you can take it out. I know you're not saying exactly that, Jason, but you know, I look at Dark Souls where you're fighting something which is 100 feet tall and I'm just going, this is ridiculous. You know, what's going on here, really? What's going on here? There are games which already do that brilliantly. Dark Souls, for instance, they already do it properly. I'm sure the devs can learn from what other games do well and maybe not some, but yeah, no bosses. I don't like games with bosses because you get all the way up to it. I love Darkest Dungeon. I got to the first boss and it just wiped me out and I just went, oh, I can't be, you know, it took me ages to get there. I can't be arsed working out exactly what kind of tactics or team composition or weapons I need, or Googling and watching people play for hours to learn how to do it. It's like a secret handshake in the game, which means that you're in and you're past that next bit. It's not about that. State of Decay 2, the State of Decay 2 franchise isn't about kind of like, are you good enough, you know, to get past this level and onto this level. It's about people trying to survive, playing different ways, playing the game that they want. There's no player versus player element. There's no great boss which after you get that, you get, you know, the groundbreaking shovel of Argon Rock or whatever, which is then, you know, the meta weapon for dealing with, you know, ferals or that sort of thing. Doesn't need it. Doesn't need it. Leave that to the games which do that spectacularly well. The players who play that game for that experience. It doesn't need, State of Decay doesn't need to be all things to all people, but it needs to look at the audience of its State of Decay 2 gaming community and solve for them first before trying to bring other people into it. So there are, on that spectrum of, I love plague hearts to, I don't like plague hearts. I like permadeath and threat and difficulty, and I like being able to take my time in the game. I like the community building elements of it and playing storylines and engaging with NPCs too. I like playing solo, the lone wolf. Being able to solve for all of that and being able to either supply regions, biomes, areas, plot lines, etc. in order to enable someone to play a single player kind of game versus a, you know, someone who wants to build multiple settlements on the map, you know, and appoint community leaders who then go off and settle other areas and be part of your wider network. That's kind of where I would love to see the game go, to provide a rewarding and enriching experience for those players trying to simulate an apocalypse that they want to experience, rather than be fixed into, oh, now you've got to go up here and kill this boss, or you've got to complete this quest, otherwise you can't get past this part of the game, or if you don't talk to this person, you know, or if you don't have a community, then you can't ever sleep. You know, it's yeah, if you don't have a base and you're living in the wild, you know, you should have a rucksack which can be deposited down on the ground, which then turns into a base where you can eat and sleep and all of those normal things without having to micromanage that sort of stuff. Yeah. So MMO, yeah, definitely not MMO. I think when it comes to multiplayer, you've got to be able to have a friends-only server, but so you can have more friends. You can have up to 8 people. Maybe they can split into teams. You can operate as teams or solo. The world being big enough that you can set up bases and communities of your own and interact. The trick there will be to make sure that people don't try and grief each other. But maybe some teams will want to do that. But if they structure it more around supporting the cooperative aspect of the game, I think that'll be okay. Yeah, if you can make camp. There's a mod in Fallout 4 which lets you do that. And it's perfect. Just go along, you dump it down on the ground, and then you can sleep and eat and all the rest of it there. So you could have, basically, if we bring up this map, instead of it being something like this, it could just be a bunk, a bedroll, campfire, maybe something else, I don't know. Maybe you could pick up little things which can help along the way, like a drying rack or something like that. You know, I'm just making stuff up now. But yeah, something like that, because, you know, the idea of being able to be on your own and have no one else on the map, or you know, not wanting to engage with communities and stuff. You want to live that hard life, you can. If you want to be that person who begins a community and then says, okay, let's operate this region, let's find people, bring them into our community, help them, or go off and set up, clear other urban locations and set up communities there where people can join, you know. There's all sorts of options. Exciting stuff anyway. But I will log out there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening, and thanks for your ideas. All awesome. I hope I haven't kept you up too late at night. I'm just super excited about State of Decay 3 when it comes out, but you know, it's some way off, and I'm all good with that. If it just, you know, if all the effort and love which has gone into State of Decay 2 pours into that game with the backing of the deep pockets of Microsoft, and with the devs staying true to and being able to put out what they really feel is going to be best for the community, then I think they'll be onto a winner. I'll leave it there. Hope to see you for the next episode, which will be next week. Kakite. Bye for now.
We found a base as big as this.